G'day and welcome to the beautiful Yarra River right in the heart of Melbourne. It's a picture perfect day down here. There's no breeze and that is perfect for the third annual Melbourne Head Rowing Regatta. We're going to be having a look at anything from double sculls right through to the men's eights, from schoolboys right through to the masters. We're going to have special comments with Chris O'Brien, and we're going to have a chat to Stuart Wilson about the designs and constructions regarding these high-tech boats. So stick around, this is going to be huge. Okay, we have Chris O'Brien, the head coach for rowing at the Victorian Institute of Sport. It's going to be a huge day down here today, mate. How many competitors have we got?
So we've got over 1,300 competitors here today, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting day to see all those people coming down the river here.
There is no doubt about that. Now, what is the reason behind rowing being such a huge participation sport?
Well, you have a look at the day like we've got today. We're in the middle of the city, fantastic water, so what more could you ask for?
Probably some air agar to get rid of these flies at the moment, but we'll get a little bit of that later. Now, the yielding rule. Now, obviously the time trial, we're not got boats rowing down here side by side. Can you explain that for us, please?
Well, basically the crews go off from the start 10 seconds apart. If we finish up with a crew going quicker than a leading crew, well, as they come close to them, the slower moving crew is meant to move to the side of the river, to the far side of the river, and let the other crew pass through.
Now, we've got some sensational rowers here, obviously international as well as gold medalists.
Yeah, look, we've got over 25 Australian national team representatives here today competing, and we've got, I think, 3 Olympic gold medalists here as well.
Now, how good is that? Now, you're going to be running the special comments for the day. I'll better give you the microphone and leave you to it.
Good on you, Tim. We'll get on with action.
Cheers, mate.
We're going to follow down one of the Scotch College crews from Big Bend over the 3-mile course down to Princes Bridge in the heart of Melbourne. We'll see all variety of boats down the course today, from sculling boats through to sweep boats. The sculling boats are boats where each person in the boat has 2 oars, one in each hand. The sweep boats, each person only has the 1 oar. Within our sculling and sweep categories, we also then have underage categories for under 16, 19, 21. We have school categories for kids who are still competing, representing their schools. We then have grades of racing, for A grade being the elite end of the sport, through to E grade for just our beginners. And then on top of that, for the masters, for those a little bit older, from 27 through to 80 years of age as well. Now, rowing certainly can have its fair share of mishaps, and the most feared one, of course, is the crab, which is a rower actually getting their oar caught in the water as they attempt to move forward to take another stroke.
Right, we're here with our 2006 World Championship men's pair of Duncan Free and Drew Ginn. Duncan Free, a Queenslander. Duncan, how did you find the course coming down there today?
Oh, it was great. I'm glad Drew was steering because I wouldn't have known whether to go left or right. You know, not often down here, but yeah, no, it was great.
And then just moving back here to Drew Ginn. Now, you obviously, Drew, you're fronting up again in about an hour or so's time in the men's eight. It seems like a pretty old 8 that we've got out there on the water. We've got the youngster David Crochet at 27 years of age. Do you think you're going to be able to cut the mustard out there?
Oh, look, I'll just be hanging on. Yeah, I'm a veteran now, and there's a lot of masters rowing out here, which is great to see, but we'll just be another masters crew getting on the water doing our best.
Now, how did we go coming down? Did we have any troubles with any of the crews as we were coming down? Like, did we manage to catch up with a few, or a bit of pressure from behind perhaps, Duncan?
We did give the masters a good lead, but we didn't quite catch them, and you know, as Drew described at the finish line, they were going quite well and had steam coming off the stern of their boat. They were flying.
Rightio, thanks a lot there, guys, and all the best in the 8.
And Duncan and Drew went on to win their event, the men's A pair. Great to see them fresh back from the World Championships, securing a gold medal once again.
Stuart Wilson from Sykes Racing, the expert on these high-tech boats. Can you please run us through the construction and design of them?
Basically, modern boats are built entirely for speed, and the modern construction is what they call a honeycomb sandwich. They're very lightweight. They're built of carbon fibre with a honeycomb core.
These boats don't handle the wash or wake of other boats too well, will they sink?
They have a lot of area in the ends which are airtight, and now in recent times there's new regulations which have meant that we've got to make sealed compartments in the boats so that the boats only sink to a certain level while the crew is sitting in it.
What does the cox do and where do they sit?
The coxswain's got a very important job, and actually they can sit at either end of the boat, but traditionally in the rear end near the stroke of the boat. Obviously their main job is to steer the boat, but they have a direct link with the coach, and some of the coxswains are obviously good enough to coach the crew as well. They're a very essential part of the boat.
We're with Grant Cosgriff, CEO of Rowing Victoria. It is a sensational day down here. A lot of work goes into a day like today.
Yeah, look, it's a super day. 1,300 competitors and a lot of planning by the committee. You know, basically this event will finish today and then they'll start for next year.
I'll tell you what, the organisation is actually paid off. It's very obvious. There's a lot of smiles around the place today.
Yeah, look, that's the main part of it. It's an event for everyone, and the idea is that they have a really positive and enjoyable experience and go away from here and want to row again, you know, next week or the week after, and continue participating in this great sport.
So, Grant, regarding participation, can I have a go?
Well, as I've seen your tape before, Tim, and I must admit you made a bit of a botch of it the first time. So, considering that, I think I've got something special planned for you which may actually improve your rowing.
Sensational. I look forward to seeing you on the water in a minute.
Maybe.
Scott Riddell from Ergfit's with me. Now, the CEO, Grant Cosgriff, wouldn't actually let me get on the water. He's had a look at a bit of my past technique. Now, Scott, you're here to show me how to do this before I can actually get out there. Run us through a bit of this.
Basically, you want to stay on the seat and use your legs.
All right, well, that sounds pretty simple. I suppose I'll get into it. That's a bit hard work, isn't it?
It is.
I'll tell you what, you've got to give it to these rowers. Not only does it take technique, it takes strength, and on top of that, I reckon fitness is a pretty big key to this. I'll continue working on the fitness. Cheers, Scott.
Let's catch our breath for a moment and we'll be back with more rowing later in the show. But coming up after the break, we're going to head down to Lake Narracan and check out some hovercraft action.